It's brand new series day. Come on. Yes, crew, brand new series today. It's one season wave now. Each time we're going to take a club, play a whole season through, obviously into bite-sized portions, so I'm getting to one episode, building a tactic, analysing the squad, getting transfers in, and trying to beat that media prediction, whatever that may be. Now, as chosen by the YouTube subscribers, this is the team we're starting off with. Our first one is going to be Brentford in the Premier League. Bit of a tricky one. We'll get into the squad, have a look at it. Do we need any transfers? All that jazz coming up right now. Now, if you're watching this episode, obviously, it's quite a long length. So I'm going to break it down into chapters. So if you're only interested in the tactic and the results, go to that chapter. If you want to watch the thing the whole way through, I love you. Right then, so let's get into it. Media prediction is 18th, as expected. I'm actually quite surprised it's not 20th. So it's 18th is what we're going to be. I'm going to be looking for top 12. If I can get top 10, I'll be absolutely delighted. Okay, so here's the squad. It's quite a sizable one, and I've noticed there are a couple of areas we might need to strengthen though. Now, one is pretty obvious. It's down here. It's at striker. As an out-and-out striker, we've only really got Ivan Toney, who is quality. He is quality. In fact, let's change the skin so we can have a good proper look. That's a bit better, isn't it? That's a bit better. So this is Ivan Toney, very good player. I'm liking what I'm seeing. His transfer value is 31 to 35 million. I'm expecting to field some bids in January, but I'm not going to accept them. Touch wood. I don't think he's got anything in his contract that's going to make me accept that. Clauses, no. All good. He's got a load of bonuses, winning the Champions League and things like that. Maybe not this season, Ivan. But we're going to build our team, obviously, around someone like that. The way I see it, though, I'm not going to just play one up front. I don't want to play like a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3 because I just think we'll be a slowly dropping down the league and a slow death. We're going to try and go at teams, but in a structured counter-attacking styled manner, I think. For the formation I want to play, fullbacks are going to be kind of key, and I'm noticing in this squad we're a bit light, especially down left-back area. We've got one good left-back in Rico Henry. He's valued at 33 mil to 37 million. He's going to be a proper good player, 23 years old. But his backup, it's a bit lacking. We've got Mansbech Sorensen here, but he's more of a centre-back. And then under him, you've got Vitaly Janelt. Again, he's a defensive midfielder. He can play there a little bit. Doesn't really want to play there, so we're going to have to get some backup in at left-back. So initially, we've got two priorities when we get to the transfer section of left-back and another striker. Now, this is the updated database, obviously, so very interestingly, we will have Christian Eriksen, but there's a caveat there. He's not available till he is available in real life. So we need to get to February before Eriksen is available. You can see by his statistics there, his attributes and his value, what an asset he's going to be. So if we can get to February when Eriksen's in and we've still got a shot at staying up or progressing, he's going to be a nice addition. So looking through the squad, we're pretty healthy in terms of centre-backs. They've got Pontus Jansson, proper solid there. You've also got the guy they bought in from Celtic on the off-season, Christoph Ayer and Pinnock. There's decent players back there, and I want to keep this pretty real to life. So obviously the squad's been built already. This is the updated transfer. So these are the squad that Brentford are going into the season with. I'm only going to add a couple of additions here and there, just where I think we're really short. What might help us in our counter-attacking philosophy is the quality of the goalkeeper's distribution. We've got David Raya here from Spain, and he is a sweeper keeper in everything that he does. You can see his kicking's 13, his passing's 13, vision's 14. He's going to be a great option to get that ball and then find the players high up the pitch on the counter-attack, which is the way we're going to go. So that really helps. And that's an important thing. You're going to build a tactic, a philosophy if you like. You need the players to help you do that. And we've got them here, which is why we're going to go with counter-attacking. We've got pace up front in Toney and strength in Toney. We've got pace on the flanks from Mbuemo here. You can see that acceleration 15, pace 15. So we're going to go with a couple of wide men to go with Toney. And in an ideal world, we'll get another striker in to play up front with him as well in like a drop-off role. Okay, so the next section's about building the tactic. Now, I've alluded to the fact I want to play counter-attacking and we're going to go with that. It's just the system around it now. Now, you might think I'm being a bit potty here, but this weekend just gone, I just watched Man City v Man United. Yes, Man City absolutely trounced Man United, but the first half I was quite impressed with the way Man United set up. I quite like the two drop-off forwards who were basically playing like two false nines with two wider guys outside of them sitting narrow, one holding midfielder and one getting up and down a bit. I'm going to try and bring elements of that into this counter-attacking tactic. So I've had a look at that philosophy, and the way we're going to go, I think, is going to be like this. It looks a bit funky, but I think with the players we've got, I think it might work quite well. I've got 2 fullbacks on attack. Now, I'm doing counter-attack, but I want a positive mentality, because if we just sit back, we're going to invite pressure from the likes of, well, pretty much the whole league, and we're going to get battered. So we need to have a positive mindset as well. And it helps that I've got defenders that are capable of playing those roles. So I've got my fullback on attack, left and right, and 2 ball-playing centre-backs. And just like that, that will be my first choice back 4. We can also, obviously, add our keeper that we've already focused on, David Raya. He goes in there. So that's my back 4. I've got 2 players capable of playing attacking fullback. I've got 2 very capable ball-playing defenders there in Aya and Pontus Jansson. So for the back 5, I'm pretty happy. What I do have is quite an eclectic, decent bunch of midfielders. Now, remember, I've put it as an advanced playmaker because I've got half an eye on Eriksen coming back in. When he comes back in, just to give him that role, I think he'll be absolutely perfect for it. Until then, I do have other players that are capable of playing that way. I've got a raft of players who can play in this position here. So maybe there'll be an option in tougher away games where you have a double defensive midfield pivot in there. That's also an option. A little bit further up, inside forward on attack, with the inverted winger. Like I said about that Manchester derby, these 2 will sit a little bit narrower and roam for position. So they're going to, in essence, go in, drop back, move around. I want them to vacate the areas left by the 2 drop-off strikers. We've got a false 9 who's going to drop back. We've got another one who's going to drop back. Ideal world, these 2 will then run into those areas. It's a bit of a big ask. I'm pushing FM as much as I can, but I'm going to try. Into the positions these boys goes. Now, I've got every faith in Norgard in there as the holding midfielder. Baptiste is a bit of a maybe. It's a maybe because he's not brilliant, but he's decent. He's decent. And when Eriksen comes back, he's going to be a good understudy. The role, I'm not 100% on. I won't lie to you. That might evolve as the season goes on. Now, these 2 I am excited about. I've got Mbeumo on one side, pure pace, raw attacking ability, and Sergio Canos on the other. They're both going to cut in. They're both on the opposite foot. So that's great. And we've talked about Tony. He's a bit of a complete forward. Can do everything. Now you'll see there's a big gap there because we need to bring a player in, I think. And I want to keep it true to the style of save that it is. Brentford aren't going to go and get someone from Man City. So we're going to have a little look in the Championship. Possibly a loan signing somewhere to try and get a false 9 in. That's the key position and backup for the left backs. As I said though, Mbeumo here, he's ideal. He's got acceleration, he's pace, he's got a little bit of flair off the ball. Work rate's champion as well, really happy with that. He's going to be a proper baller. His value's way up there already. And on the other side, Sergi Canos. My apologies, Brentford fans. Again, flair all over the place. Decent acceleration and pace, not great. That's why I've got him as an inside forward on this side rather than an inverted winger. Work rate's good. Long shots are decent. He's just a decent all-round player. Can do a number of positions as well. But I'm going to start him out there on the right-hand side. And we've already focused on Ivan Toney, so that's where we're at. Let's go shopping shortly then, and we'll go for this. One last thing before I do continue. I have got a more positive version of this. Here it is. You can see the playmaker turns into a central midfielder on attack, bombing forward. In fact, let's get the funky camera up. Ivan Toney turns into a target forward on attack. That's just if we're dominating games, and in the Premier League, it's not going to be too often. It's probably more to try in games like the Carabao Cup, things like that. But hey, it might work. And we've also changed the team instructions, which are very important. If we go back to the initial tactic, you can see the team instructions down this side, and the main one to build a counter-attacking tactic is probably in transition. You can see we've gone down the counter and regroup route rather than counter and counter press. That's going to be the big thing. Can we get it to work? We've got a lot of ball playing style in possession instructions there because we're still a very decent technical team, and out of possession despite being a counter-attacking team. We're going to push them. We're going to push them back because I've got decent pace back here. I've got a really good sweeper keeper. I don't want to drop deep too far. I want to push high with these 4 like United did against City and cause them issues. My thinking is, and I might be crazy here, my thinking is a lot of teams in the Premier League play out from the back. So let's try and nick it off them high up the pack. If I was maybe 1-2 seasons in, I would 100% use a money ball approach. Ironically, that's where Brentford have done. They've built a great youth academy and they use money ball as well to bring in their players. Now, it's a bit tricky when you're starting off from the get-go because you don't have the army of statistics to back that up and and find who was great last season in terms of headers won, chances created, things like that. So we're going to have to base him more on attributes and to some extent a bit of a gut feeling. I know I want a forward who's going to drop off and ideally play a false 9 role, so I'm looking for a bit of a flair player, good off the ball, positioning, a guy who could kind of comfortably drop into one of the midfield roles in behind here, behind the main striker. So he's going to have a bit of cross attributes going on there. Initially, all I'm going to do is see what strikers are available at the minute who are interested in a little switch to Brentford. And it starts from the top here, transfer values, let's have a look. So this is where we're at. You can see there's a lot of young players there, such as Fabio Silva at Wolves, Troy Parrott from Tottenham, Brewster, Championship. This is the kind of level we're looking at. Someone like Ryan Brewster, let's have a look. His flair's okay, aggression is up there. He's more of an advanced forward, 100% acceleration pace. Off the ball, decent. He's a decent player, but is he what I need? Is he what I need? I need a bit of a physical presence up there as well. He's 5'10", he's not the biggest, his strength's a bit weak. Jumping reach isn't there. For me, he's not quite there, but the level of player, Championship, formerly Premier League, is probably where we're going to be looking. So after the update, someone like Ben Britton Diaz may be an option. He's going to have a bit of a boost because obviously he now plays for Chile there. You can see 5 caps, 1 goal. He's 6 foot, he's 80 kg, he's a lot stronger. His flair's a bit of a worry for the role I want him to use though, but he's definitely one to think about and goes onto the shortlist. And you see what I mean? It's a very Brentford-like signing. They're not going out to AC Milan. We're looking around at the Championship at players that we think could possibly make the step up. Bertrand Traore would have been a decent option actually. I quite like him, but we just put in a little offer to Aston Villa. Wage demands out of our stratosphere. He wants 60 grand a week. Can't do it. Pretty confident I could get this fella, Bamba Dieng, in him from Marseille. He's only 21. He's got some nice possible attributes, but 9 caps for Senegal, 1 goal. For me, he's too unproven. You can see there's not enough games gone on there. He's just been bought by Olympique Marseille. Not quite ready. Lucas João. Now this one's caught my attention a bit. His attributes might not be fantastic, but he's in our budget. Somewhere in the like 4 million mark. Ish, probably. He's got decent flair. He's a strong fella, 16. He's got good jumping reach. His balance is fantastic. He's 6'4", 80 kg. Finishing's good, decent composure it looks like. Technique's good. Work rate could be better, but as a false 9, I'm probably not going to need that. Vision, okay, not magnificent, but at our level, it's not bad. The one thing I do worry about is the decisions. I could do with that being a bit higher. And possibly his anticipation. But decisions is the main one. He's a very strong maybe. I'm going to ask his agent right now about his availability. In we go. And it looks like he hasn't really helped. The one between 400 and 4.9. So where are we at there? He's well within our wage budget. I just feel like he's the type of signing that Brentford may make. Don't kill me and crucify me if not. If you look at his history, he's been in English football quite a while now. 2.9 million to Chef Wed. Not a great goal return, but last season at Reading, 19 goals in 39, following a £5 million move. It seems like a natural step up this. Similar story for the left back, but this guy is more to put pressure on our starting left back and act as cover if you like. So I'm not opposed to taking on a younger player on this one. I'd quite like to get someone in from abroad. Like we've got players from like Newcastle, Fulham who are popping up. We don't have a massive transfer budget to buy players. Wage budget, it's okay, but nothing special as you can see, 50 grand. So someone who's going to be capable of dropping into like a reserve role. I've just spotted someone from PSG. Levan Kazawa, here we go. Now looking at that, he's an experienced player with 28 years old, 6 foot, which is very decent, and everything looks in order for like a good, solid backup left back. The only issue would be the wages. Are PSG going to ask us for 100% of that? Because we can't afford 100%. If we can get a better deal, acceleration's fantastic, pace, physical's really good. Tottenham are sniffing around him. He's obviously going to play with pedigree. We'll have a look. PSG bought him for 18 million there. A semi-regular in France. I mean, very, very decent. If we could get him. So I'm into the season now. We've played about 5 matches and it's going okay. Okay, not too bad. The tactics worked all right. We've got a couple of new signings in. Let's go and have a look. Lucas João. So we did make the move for Lucas João. We signed on the dotted line for about £5 million and he's been pretty good. His actual attributes are better than I thought. He's 15 for flair, which is really good. Look at these physicals. All of them are fantastic. The decisions is the key one that we're not enjoying too much. I'm playing is this false 9. You can see that's where his flair really comes into it, along with his balance and agility. His heading's great. He's done okay at the start in the Premier League. He's scored once in 5 matches. Crucially though, 2 assists as well. So a decent start from Lucas João. And we did manage to get Kazawa in on loan from PSG. They didn't ask for a full whack, 70 grand a week. We did push it a bit, but I just felt it was going to be the only signing I was going to make other than Lucas João. So he comes in, he's just made his debut in the Carabao Cup, scoring a 7.6. He's a very good player. He's putting pressure on Rico Henry. Here's the league table now. I'm playing through this in full, remember. I'm not simulating it. I'm playing through it in full. So you'll probably see a few changes of clothes as the video goes on. But we're sitting in 9th place, which I'm quite happy with. We've played the 5 games. We've won 2, drawn 1, lost 2, conceding a few too many goals at 10. But we've scored 12 goals, which, looking at that, I think it's about the 4th or 3rd or 4th best in the league. This game against Palace, everything went perfectly according to plan. Brian Mbeumo there with 5 clear-cut chances created with a 10 rating. He didn't even score a goal. That shows how good he was. 3-1 against Palace, 33 shots, 13 on target, an XG of 3.6. Possession 60%, playing counter-attack. Woo! And this was the game that gave me some big hope. Away to Tottenham, which is a tough one. 2-2. We were the better team throughout. They had a lot of shots, Tottenham, but they weren't getting any on target. We were super solid and compact. We were leading in the 90th minute, and they scored in the 96th to make it 2-2. This was a game against Man City, the hardest team in the league to play against. You can see there, Wissa puts it in to put us 1-0 up after 30 minutes. I was playing this live. Under this camera is my actual face. Dying at this. Man City equalised here straight from the corner, which is massively annoying considering how big a team we are. Rodrigo put it in. 2-1 Man City in the 48th minute. Bernardo Silva, Kyle Walker. The fact we're competing against these boys shows me that we've got a bit of promise here. Great goal from Bernardo Silva. That's us going 2-2 up. Pert Harris in from the development team to provide a bit of cover after a bit of an injury crisis. Gave us the goal. You can see in the top corner there how I flipped the formation ever so slightly to deal with a bit Man City, where we went 1 up front thanks to an injury to Tony. Started to work 2-2, and this is the key point. We're 92 minutes in. Look at us passing it around. It's beautiful football, but it turns out to be to our detriment. You can see Lucas João just about now pop back there. That's the false 9. So we were trying to pick our way through. 92nd minute, but Man City picked our pockets. Icardi must be a signing for them, to Sterling, to Phil Foden. Emre Can put it in. Heartbreakingly, we lost 2-3 to Man City in the 93rd minute. You might have heard my dog having a shake there in the back of that little video clip. Well, here he is. This is Kofi, and it's his birthday, so I'll let him. What I'm going to do now is, you can see the results there. The pre-season was great. The early season's been okay, you know. We've got 2 big, tough games out of the way there through Tottenham and Man City. They're out of the way. We've just beat Oxford 1-0. We've got a clutch of games coming now. I'm going to go away and play them. As Kofi hovers in the background, the birthday boy just causing havoc. And we'll see where we go. We'll pop back in if anything big happens. If not, we'll toil and toil through to January and get into some January transfer window action. A little bit of time has passed. As you can see, I'm in a different outfit. It's a different day. I'm recording this over a set period of days, so I can really put my all into it and really get to the nitty gritty. Now, the tactic we started the season with has evolved slightly, and do you know what? Things have gone so well. The league table sits in front of you on 19th of December 2021, and somehow, somewhere, we've got Brentford into the Champions League spots. We've got 30 points. So I'll tell you this now, there's no way we're finishing media prediction 18th. They have done so well. Now, the tactic has evolved. You can see we've scored 33 goals, which is one of the best in the league. We have conceded 26, but very recently we have started to tighten up when I did make some tweaks. Let's have a little look at the tactic now and explain how I got to that. It is still the 4-2-4, and crucially you can see in transition it's still counter regroup. There has been some tweaks made to some roles. You can see Ivan Toney now is no longer a false 9, he's now a target forward on attack, so he still drops off, but he's got more of a look for the goal rather than dropping off all the time. Inside forward on support rather than attack. Box to box midfielder, central midfielder on defend. He's moved up in the box to box for his turn from an advanced playmaker into a box to box midfielder. Both fullbacks slightly more withdrawn. Rather than attack, support, because we're conceding too many goals. We've also dropped back the line of engagement from much higher to higher, making ourselves a bit more solid, and it's had some belting results. Some of the games, I kid you not, have been wild. We're actually playing better against the bigger teams than we are against the smaller teams. So the last update was about this point here after the Oxford game. So we won that 1-0, bit of a scratchy game, and we lost to West Ham 0-2, and it wasn't very good, to be honest. Then things started to turn around. We got an absolutely astonishing 3-2 away win at Chelsea. Back down to earth with a battering at home by Leeds. Drew 2-2 with Norwich, a battering in the cup where I rested some players, and then a dream run, an absolute dream run. 3-1 at home to Man United using this new technique. Southampton we beat 1-0, a quality win against Watford, Villa, and again against Arsenal 3-1. And then the best result yet, staggeringly, we went to Anfield and got a 1-1 draw. Anyone who's played Liverpool on this game knows how hard this is. You can see we got a proper battering, 28 shots from Liverpool, 12 on target, 6 from us, and we scored in the 87th minute. I'm not lying to you, I was doing somersaults in this room. What a result that was. What this has led to is a 10-game undefeated streak. We have drawn our last 4 games, but you can see how much more solid we are now. Up here we were conceding 4-2 against Norwich and Chelsea. But since then, despite playing Arsenal, Liverpool, these sort of teams, we've tightened right up, and that tweak to the tactic has really helped. I came to the changes having a little look in the data hub here, like I have above there. So predominantly looking at possession gained and defensive action. Now if I look at defensive actions, for example, that shows you how much of a counter-attacking team we are. 45% take place in and around our defensive box because we are hitting teams on the break. We're not pushing, winning the ball back up high, we're winning them back here. Now, possession gained, 87 possession gains per game compared to an average team with 87, so we're bang on average. We gain the most possession in our own defensive third, so in and around these areas here, a decent amount there, so it's working out quite well for the counter-attacking philosophy that we're going for. During the matches, I just felt we were dropping too deep. This man was getting a bit lost when he was playing back there, and the discrepancy between him playing there and the advanced playmaker dropping in there meant there was too much of a gap in the middle. So we brought them together, got a box-to-box midfielder with a central midfielder on defence, so it's a bit more tighter now, tighter in there, and we're really relying on Wissa, Mbuemo and the strikers to do their thing up front, and that's exactly what they've done. This game against Chelsea was classic counter-attack football. You can see we were 2-0 up at half-time. Chelsea came back at us, but we did hold on to get the 3-2 win. And Wissa was absolutely essential as we look at the goals that he scored. So we've got our defenders spread, waiting for the goal kick from Raya. Raya takes it there to the defender Janssen. Back to Raya. And Raya pumps it up. Pause there to Luca Toni with the flick on. And there's Wissa to put it in. That's ideal for us. We're using the strength of Toni and the 2 players either side of him coming in, causing havoc. There's been some lovely goals being played, just like this one is. There's Toni there, through ball to Mbuemo, and lovely little finish. So those 4 up front have been absolutely vital. Pace, power, skill, technique. The guys behind them doing the donkey work for them boys to hit on the counter. How has Luka João done? Look, he's not been a goal machine by any stretch of imagination. He's scored twice in 18 games, but his link-up play has been really good. He's scored 3 assists. His average rating is 6.9. He's doing the job I want him to. He's a false 9. He's not going to score a ton of goals. He's leaving that for the other boys up front, but he's been an integral cog in the machine. Quite often, dropping off into these zones here, which allows Wissa and Mbuemo to bomb past him. And Ivan Toni here. I keep calling him Luca Toni. Maybe I should just call him that. He scored 8 goals in 18 games, so Premier League, very decent indeed. Wissa on one side. He scored 5 from 10 starts. And Mbuemo that we mentioned, also with 6 in 13. So we're spreading the goals out well amongst those boys up front. We're on this good streak. We've got a clutch of games there before January. Everton, Leeds, and then we're into January with Chelsea and Man United. So it's going to get tough. We do need to make a signing, I think. A signing for January. And it's in this area here. It's right back. We've got Rusalev playing there at the minute. He's doing okay, solid enough. But the issue is we don't have any cover for him. I made the mistake in summer. We got the cover for our left back, but we need cover in right back. So that's where we'll be looking in January. Right, we're into January now, the 21st of January. We made the 2 signings that I was looking for. I said 1, but I've made 2. These 2 guys have came in. So I just swooped for Kenny Tete on loan from Fulham again, delving into the Championship, keeping it real with Brentford. We've got him on loan with a future fee optional. He's going to provide decent cover at fullback. In fact, if we need to get a bit more aggressive, he's probably a better option. Also coming in the door, Grady Diangana. Now, this was a spur of the moment kind of thing. I've noticed because we're so forward thinking in them front 4 positions that we need a bit more going forward because they're running their socks off. So he's came in, he was cheap enough, about 5-6 million, one for the future as well, proper nice Moneyball style Brentford signing. He comes in. Now to make way for those 2, we had to let one go to get the money back in. He's a bit of a long-term Brentford player, and I'm afraid we had to let go of Sergi Canós scores. He leaves the club. He goes for about £12 million to Rennes. He was having an okay season, but nothing special. He wasn't really fitting in with the front four ethos because his pace and his acceleration wasn't really there. I wanted a better player in that regard. We've got decent money for him. It's allowed us to bring in those 2 new players, and I'm hoping for the greater good. Now, we're going to January. I'm going to play a few games, but first, we've just had our best result of the season. Check this bad boy out. We were having all them draws, weren't we, at the time? We had the draws against Liverpool, Leicester, Wolves, Burnley, Everton. Then we've got a really disappointing defeat to Leeds, who've done a double over us. Then Chelsea beat us 2-3. We got our morale back in the FA Cup. And the next game just blew my socks off. It blew my socks off. We just trounced Man United 4-1 at Old Trafford. And it wasn't a smash and grab either. Check it out. 18 shots, 9 on target. United didn't have a sniff. Ronaldo got one back. We absolutely battered them. We didn't have a win in 7 games. Granted, they're all draws, a couple of defeats. So it's good to get them back in the saddle. And we're back rolling again. As it stands, we go into the last 16 games of the season sitting in 6th position. Really, really good. We're still banging in the goals, 41. We're nearly 2 per game. It's going really well. If we can stay in this top 7, I'll be absolutely delighted. I'll see you all at the end of the season to see how we did. The season is over. We have finished our 1 season with Brentford. So the question is, how did we do? I'm delighted to say we finished in the top 10, finishing in 9th place. We had one of those dodgy FM runs late in the season. That could be attributed to the small squad or just a bad run of luck. But when playing the games, we were still playing well. So it was really frustrating. But we battled through it. We finished the season strongly. And wonderful, wonderful news. That 9th place finish is mint. So from January, we were on this really good run there with loads of draws, and we snapped out of it like we said, and we did that devastation destruction job on Man United. Now following that, another couple of good results, Everton and Norwich, and that's when it hit the skids. It's one of those unexplainable things that just seems to happen sometimes, and you can see there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games where we couldn't find a win. The last 3 were particularly brutal, 0-3, 3-4 and 2-5 to Southampton. Now, of all games to get us back in the groove, it was Liverpool at home, where we drew 1-1, meaning they haven't beat us this season. Crazy. So we've done the double over Man United, and we drew twice with Liverpool. Following on from that, Watford and Tottenham, where we absolutely smashed 4-1. And Tottenham, remember, finished in 4th place. So what a result that was. A strong finish to the season. Gets us in that 9th spot, which I'm really happy about. Ivan Toney, 3rd top scorer in the league, playing as that target forward with 24 goals. The new boys did their job as well. Lucas João is going to be one of those strikers that just doesn't score goals. Here he is. He scored 6 all season, but he was consistently playing well. That's why he's got a 7 rating, because he was always linking things up in that false 9 role. I actually really enjoyed watching him. And combined with the new man, Diangana, who's came in with 10 games, 4 assists. He always looked a little threat down that side. Tete came in as cover, did the job. Wonderful. They did. Superb. And what I'm most happy about is the team instructions. Let's have a little closer look. I wanted to build a counter-attack tactic to match the kind of status of Brentford, and I think we've done that. The whole season we played counter and regroup in there. Now, it might be to our detriment, because as the season went on, there were some games against lower teams that we got beat by and we should have won. We actually had a better record against the bigger teams. So my recommendation to you is, if you're going to take on this sort of system with these sort of team instructions, to have a plan B for games that you're favourite for and kind of drop that philosophy and go for the attack on games like that. Mix it up so that AI keeps guessing and doesn't know which way you're going to go. I think that's what happened in that chunk of games where we just couldn't grab a win. But you can see, counter, regroup, did the business. Those 4 up front, feeding off Toney and João, inside forward, inverted winger. It was great to watch. Absolutely loved that save. It's going to be a bit of a shame to just discard it now, because I think we could build on that and take Brentford a bit further. But these are the rules. Delving deeper into our team's performance is this screen here, and some of these key metrics really show why we did so well. So let's have a closer look. So if you've got average possession there, you can see Brentford, little Brentford, just in behind mighty Man City, Chelsea, Liverpool, and level with Arsenal. So when we're winning the ball back, we are keeping it really well. Cross completion, we are top. Fantastic result there. Just shows that the boys at fullback and the wingers doing their job perfectly well. Really helped us get goal scoring, which we were really good at. One of the best teams in the league. Combined with that, headers won ratio percentage, 72%, only second to Everton. We're winning most of the headers that we go up for, which also corresponds to goals from corners. Third place with that. Superb. Shots on target over here. 6th in the league again, just behind all the big boys. So we are peppering the goal with 222. Possession won, 4th in the league. Winning loads of the ball. Really good. Headers won per game, 4th again. It's superb. Conceding from corners and we're not there, which is what you want to see. We're somewhere down below because we've done a cracking job on that and not conceded in the basics. So doing all that really helped us finishing 9th. Against all the odds, predicted to finish 18th. My one season with Brentford, we smashed it and finished 9th. That is the one season with Brentford, done and dusted. There's my boy Kofi. He's impatiently waiting for me as well because I spent so much time playing with Brentford. Please do let me know what you think of that video. It is the longest one on the channel, probably by some distance. If you like that style of video, please let me know and I'll make more. And if that is the case, let me know what team. What team should we have one season with? I don't want to see PSG down there. I'm not interested in that. We want a challenge. Something like Brentford was great fun. Predicted to finish 18th, finishing 9th. Bringing a counter-attacking philosophy into it. Absolutely loved it. As always, you're legends for watching. See you soon.